Hi YouTube, and welcome to my channel, Just Drew, and I'm Drew. On this space we focus on reinvention, renewal, and reviving yourself. In short, remembering who you are. Today we talk about criticism. Criticism comes from various spaces. It could be professional, it could be somebody personal who you know in life. So a good thing to know how to handle is criticism. And one must realize that criticism is not personal. It's just something that has to be dealt with in life, and you have to deal with it with a good attitude, because people want you to be better, to do better and perform better, and that's why they criticize. Of course, there are people who go overboard and criticize just to make you feel bad, and that's not who we're talking about today. We're talking about the criticism that occurs for your advantage. We're going to talk about how to handle it. Well, the first thing one must do is stay calm, because sometimes some criticism can hurt, especially if it's coming unexpectedly or it's coming from someone you love. It can be difficult to take in. So remember to always remain calm and to listen as objectively as you can without interrupting, because many a times when you interrupt, it just escalates a situation that may not even need to be escalated, because sometimes once the criticism has been put through, you'll have an opportunity to respond if you need to. So remain calm at all costs. The next thing you need to do is to consider where you're getting the criticism from, because if it's from somebody higher up in your professional life, you have to listen and consider seriously what they're saying, because it could affect your job, it could affect your relations with your workmates. So listen and take it in, and also try and be devoid of emotion when you are listening to your criticism and you are taking it in. Do not get unnecessarily angry, flare up, cry. It can be challenging, especially sometimes, because criticism can hurt, and if anybody who says otherwise may not be telling the full truth. So try and be in control of your emotions in a way. Sometimes I know that you can erupt, and those situations do exist, but as we grow older, it's important to realize we can't be erupting at all times. So remember, control your emotions and consider where the criticism is coming from, even though it's coming from a friend perhaps, because criticism can't come from friends, especially friends that care for you and love you and want you to be better, to do better, maybe relate with them better, so improving the relationship. Also take it in calmly and just objectively, and figure it out slowly. And if at the moment you are having a hard time figuring out what to say, you don't have to respond. You can just acknowledge it and think about it later. Go through your thoughts calmly, and then you can respond later. Maybe afterwards you can request for a meeting or a chat. Once you've responded calmly and once you've considered your response calmly, you can go back and maybe get feedback as well, because if it's in a heightened situation, sometimes responding to any criticism in a heightened situation can really escalate things. If you can acknowledge the criticism and later on you come back and to talk about the situation in a calmer setting, perhaps it could be better for you, and that is definitely a better way to handle criticism. And I say this also because I had a very tough week at work this week, and I received a lot of criticism. And because of the nature of my work, I did not have even the opportunity to ask for feedback or to, look for understanding. And you just have to, but you have to acknowledge that you've heard it and listened to it and you're processing it. And I heard what they were saying, but in my case, I don't need to go back and talk about it. But if it ever happens that a situation occurs where I'm in doubt or I'm not comfortable with the criticism I received, I will for sure go back and speak to them about it, but only when the situation is calmer. Because I also know myself, and I also know I don't want to erupt in the workplace, because that's not the nature of who I am. Another thing, of course, you can do once you've gotten the criticism is don't disregard it just because of how it made you feel. You have to always take in criticism as it comes and listen to it maturely and try and deconstruct it and see where it's coming from and to see what your role was in the situation. Take the information that you've gotten and use it to learn and grow and develop to be a better person. Because some criticism, yes, is unwarranted, but not all is. Sometimes people are truly trying to help you to be better. So just take it and process it as best as you can. And of course, in all this, we always embrace gratitude. Gratitude is such an important aspect in life. And at the point of being criticized, you do not want to be grateful or say, thank you. But sometimes you can say, thank you for letting me know about something. Maybe you were unaware of it. Or just be grateful that somebody has taken the time to bother to correct you. Some people just let you be and let you struggle through life not knowing that you can perform better. So be grateful for criticism. Be grateful for feedback on your nature as a human being, because that is what human beings use to develop and to grow and to be who they are. Criticism sometimes can be extremely tough, and if need be, you can go cry in the bathroom or cry in your room or at home, wherever you're going to cry, just to let out all the pent-up emotion, because there's also that aspect. You must remember that you shouldn't hold it in. If it's a frustrating situation or frustrating feedback, you can cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. But always, and even in that crying and releasing, just remember you're growing and developing, and without the growth and development, which is sometimes painful, you'd just be stagnant, and that is not who you want to be in life. That is definitely not who I want to be in life. So I, for one, when I went through the criticism this week, I was relatively peeved. But at the end of the day, I was grateful, because some of the things I knew of, some of the things I didn't know of. And, next week will be better. And I'm happy about that. So that was my short take on criticism and how to handle it. If you'd like more of this content, please subscribe and follow me as I walk through this journey. And thank you. Bye-bye.